Ayo everyone, thank you for joining me. Check it out, it's the 31 Days of Dread. I'm your host, Peter A. DeLuca, another known as AKAPAD and or AKAPAD. People say it that way, it's funny, but welcome to my podcast. This is AKAPAD's Audio Audacity Podcast. Today, we're talking Mandy for day 20 of the 31 Days of Dread. And that is where, listen to me here, that is where we do one horror movie a day for the entire month of October. You gotta love it. Let's hit that intro and get to it. 2018 movie, Nicolas Cage. We have Panos Cosmatos. I have trouble saying that dude's name. Now, this is continuing our director block. So, the previous 2 days of the 31 Days of Dread was Mr. Rob Zombie, and we did Lords of Salem and Three from Hell, and I hate to say it, I enjoyed Lords of Salem. Again, that was my second time watching the movie, more than I did Three from Hell. I need more time with Three from Hell. I'm so sorry not to have more of a definitive opinion on that. It's very frustrating. And here we have Panos and his block. And check it out. We got Mandy, a movie that the entire interweb universe loves discussing. And, I don't know, trashing maybe. Or just wrongfully acting confused on. And we have Beyond the Black Rainbow. If you like Under the Skin, if you wanted to see Under the Skin, like the visuals of Under the Skin just taken so much further, Beyond the Black Rainbow is for you. Both of these movies, I will say right now, I am not trying to build into day 21 with any type of mystery. I love the Black Rainbow, or Beyond the Black Rainbow. I love it. I love that movie. And then after, we're doing Ty West. And, Ty West is coming from our occult block. We did House of the Devil. That's his movie. And then we did Rosemary's Baby. Almost like the origin of a genre, or I would say the peak of a genre. And then the modern day interpretation peak of that genre. And those two movies are just paired. They're perfectly paired together. And then we're going to be drifting into uncharted territory, because I have a couple ideas of what to do after that. As things start to wind down for 31 Days of Dread. But for here, we're just rocking and rolling. And look, before we continue, before we talk about Mandy, let me give you a little bit of an update. So there's been a major slowdown, a major hiccup in the 31 Days of Dread. If you haven't noticed, we skipped episode or day 15, and that was by accident. But that's all linked to a file transfer mishap. I was transferring files to clear out more space on my work laptop, my laptop in general, and a chunk of the 31 Days of Dread completely disappeared. And I did lose a solid day trying to recover or look into recovery options. Everyone here knows I work in IT. Everything at that point moving forward, it was better just to rebuild and move forward. And that's why even the 31 Days of Dread thumbnail changed. Even though I never really loved the original thumbnail for the episode graphics, the one I came up with is 10 times better, and I might just go back and redo them all and re-upload them. And so within your feed, it should look a little bit different. But yeah, that's an update. And when I went to episode 16, which was Club Dread, our comedy block, paired with Transylvania 5000, Jeff Goldblum, awesome movie. I just brain fart almost like brain strain, I just something with the numbering of the files, something where I thought I was picking up. I didn't confirm. I just sat down and recorded because I wanted to catch up, and I was kind of somewhat panicking. But anyway, so let's do this. So what do I mean? Look, I've seen a lot of YouTubers discuss this movie. And they all miss a point. They all miss a major point. What's the major point? The major point that people miss when they watch this movie is they don't think about what they should be feeling and why. They look at this movie on a narrative structural sense and they act like it's crazy. And they're like, and they kind of know it's a good movie. But no one seems to pinpoint where they're coming from as they're watching this movie. Now, how did we get there? Let's just go through the plot. This is a very simple plot. This is the plot. It's somewhat Timothy Leary, and it's somewhat of what's his name? Jodorowsky. Jodorowsky, the guy who was originally going to direct Dune. He has this one line. If you watch his documentary about one of the greatest movies never made, he says he wanted to make a movie to have people who've never been on acid to experience an acid trip. Panos Cosmatos, I'm just going to stop trying to say his name. Panos's position with his movies, from what it looks like, from these two movies, these are the only two movies that he made, this and Beyond the Black Rainbow, seem to be that he wants you to feel like you're in an acid trip as you're watching this movie. This is very clear with Beyond the Black Rainbow. With Mandy, we have a major actor. We have Nicolas Cage. We have somewhat of a crowdsourcing endeavor with Legion M, where people themselves finance this movie. Not a big, faceless studio. So that's cool. Very democratic. And, Nicolas Cage probably would want structure. So we have this loose plot. He's in a cabin in the woods with a girl. Vandals come around, and they essentially burn the girl alive in front of him. And Nicolas Cage is sent on a revenge spree. And that's your movie. Now, that's not a original plot at all. Now, the original side of this movie is the look, the feel, how you feel, and kind of what happens. So he makes himself a cool weapon. He hunts down these bikers that detail a lot of people seem to miss. The bikers in this movie are from a bad acid trip, and they've mutilated themselves, and they're bikers. And who knows? Maybe kind of maybe they have superpowers. I don't know. And when Nicolas Cage goes on his revenge spree, he targets the bikers first, and then he makes his way into like the cult or into like the lion's den, which is kind of funny because this dude's house that he lives in, his temple, so to speak, is just like the temple from Midsommar, Day 1 from the 31 Days of Dread. There is a symmetry between these two movies that is just amazing, and I love it. I don't know if one was intentional and the other one wasn't. I just think it's cool. And then along the way, we have we just have these moments and these visuals that are endlessly embedded in us. We have this trip sequence with his girlfriend who mocks this cult leader, and he may have been angered by it, leading to her being burned. I really do have to see this movie multiple times, but this was more in tone of what I was expecting from 3 from Hell. It really was. I was expecting a very streamlined story with 3 from Hell, but with a artistic endeavor attached to it, or more of more of an expression of exactly what we were watching. And maybe that would help the movie. Maybe some of that was there. I don't know. Making movies is very complicated. You have to be crazy to want to make a movie. You really do. So, yeah, Nicolas Cage just, he kills everyone. Like he kills everyone he's supposed to. And there we go. Like that's our movie. And there's so much red in this movie. Like I love the red. So many red lights. And if you watch the new Vin Diesel Bloodshot trailer, it is so hard not to think of this movie while watching that trailer, because that trailer has the entire sequence with all red lighting. The WWF, for their newest Hell in the Cell, the most recent Hell in the Cell from earlier this month, what's his name? Seth Rollins and The Fiend wrestled in an all red match. It's like it's just amazing. And Mandy could have been this movie that is just affecting people in this way, and it's going to go down. This is going to go down as one of the better outrageous horror movies, one of the better outrageous revenge movies. It's going to have legs. It's hard for this movie not to have legs. And I'm happy to bring it to you. I'm happy to recommend it. I'm happy to tell you to go see it, because I can keep, I kind of feel like I don't know. I don't want to talk about it as deeply as I think I should, only because I want you to experience it. But part of seeing this movie is how you are feeling during the different stages of this movie. And you have to detach yourself from narrative plot. You have to detach yourself from stylistic flow. You have to, like when it comes to narration, you have to separate yourself from all of it and go into this movie new. Okay? It's the only way to receive something like this. And you could be like, Pete, you're overblowing this. It's only a movie. It's not that complicated. It's not. But at the same time, though, with most things that we see, we have to be in the right place to receive them. Even when it comes to food, we have to be ready and excited to venture into like something new that we're going to eat. And I don't know. I highly recommend this movie. So everyone out there, for the 31 Days of Dread, this might be the shortest episode we've had in a stretch. Go see this movie, and then we'll talk a little bit deeper about this type of filmmaking, the intent of this type of filmmaking, why it exists. Yeah, exactly. Why does this type of filmmaking exist? All of it will come to a head with day 21 of the 31 Days of Dread, Beyond the Black Rainbow, and then we're going to jump right into Ty West. We're going to do Innkeepers and The Sacrament, rounding out our directors. That's going to be 6 director days or 6 director episodes, and then we're going to, maybe by then I'll be able to announce a little bit more. But this is so much fun. Thank you for joining me. Rock and roll, and I love you.